Welcome to the Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is Jason Eisenut.
Hi, everyone.
So, Jason, topic for this week is involuntary terminations as they relate to remote employees.
Yeah, the remote's the tricky part. I mean, most managers, unfortunately, have been through terminations where you've done it in person. You can call the person and you do some scheduling and some pre-activity we'll get to in a second. But having the person remote adds another layer of complexity that makes it a little bit more complicated where you want to really pre-plan in advance.
Right. Yeah, because it's not the same as them being in the room with you. But so a few tips I would imagine: get your team ready. Your IT team needs to know that it's going to happen because you don't know what equipment the person has. Do they have a company cell phone, laptop? What's their communication into the organization?
Yeah. So that's a good point. So if they have a company laptop or computer at home, I alert the IT to make sure that we have good records of what they have at home to make sure they mail it back, and we can mail a prepaid FedEx package so they can mail it back to us, or we can collect it at some neutral site. But also to make sure their access is turned off on those devices or system or websites to the point where I'm talking to the person now, I'm texting IT, we're live on the Zoom call, shut it down, and then IT can do it right after you're kind of during the process, they know to shut it down.
Right, when you're on that Zoom call or Teams or whatever you use, that your IT team can disable the email and whatever remote access, if they've got a VPN into your system, which is pretty often the case with your remote employees, that you want that access to end while you're on that phone call.
So in addition to IT, we also recommend making the leadership team aware that's going to happen so there's no surprises. If there's anything that they're aware of that you may not be as a manager. So make sure you're talking to IT, HR, legal if you have to, if it's a really complicated situation, and the leadership team are the kind of the typical parties that are involved in advance.
Right. So any type of separation agreement you're going to want to review ahead of time. So typically you'll make that either available to their personal email. You may post it up on the screen and walk them through, or at least walk them through what you're offering from an exit standpoint, so that you're on the same page during that termination. Depending on the state, you may have to have a final check ready.
Yeah, California, for example.
Right. So if you're the California remote employee, you have to pay them a final check. So if that's the case, depending on the time of day you're doing, how you're getting the check to them, or are you doing a same day ACH?
Right.
Because you don't really want it hitting their account, and you can't do it the day before because they'll have it before the Zoom call.
Right.
So it's figuring out when that timing is, if it's a wire or a same day ACH. But
yeah, oftentimes you wait to tell IT, we're in the meeting now. You're waiting to tell maybe the payroll after the meeting if they can do the same day ACH, because if something happens and the person doesn't pick up your text and they never get back to you, now you're really in a bad situation. If their access has been turned off, they've already hit your bank account, and now they are aware of the termination before you've even communicated. That's not the best scenario.
Right, no, because then who knows what steps they're going to take.
Right.
So. But and actually, Jason's put together, and his team have put together a pretty thorough checklist for this process of preparing for the meeting, what you need to have organized for the meeting, as well as the post follow up.
Yeah, and how to deliver the news. It's never fun. We're always kind of a little apprehensive and worried about delivering the termination news to that person. Some tips on how to deliver it, how to be ready for it. Maybe have a script ready. So yeah, that checklist is a great resource for companies of any size, managers, new managers, existing managers, long-tenured managers. Let us know. We're happy to hand it out to be part of our HR newsletter that we send out once a month. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, or if you'd like a copy of the checklist, HR@employco.com.
Yeah, so it's included every month around the 15th, the middle of the month or so. Jason does an HR newsletter that goes out to our clients and a variety of other friends that get copies of it. It's in there, but if you want just information on this, feel free to reach out to Jason at hr@employco.com, and it's pretty solid checklist.
Yeah, A to Z, how you can deal with remote employees' involuntary terminations, which oftentimes also can help you on any type of termination, whether it's a remote or in person.
Right. So feel free to reach out. Other topics in your newsletter this month, I think you were covering stay interviews as well.
Yep, stay interviews. EEOC, how to respond to a discrimination charge, and there's new poster fines if you're not displaying the right posters at the right time. So check out the newsletter and our blog on our website. We've got some HR video chats and podcasts along with the newsletter.
Yeah, courtesy of Jackson, the man behind the camera. So not only behind the camera and editing these, but also runs our blog and everything online.
Newsletter.
So,
Yep.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.